Some new faces then in the Everton team ahead of the start of the new season. Alan, of course, confirmed last week. James officially unveiled today, making that move for £20 million from Real Madrid. Gab, let's focus on James first, shall we? What expectations do you have of him?
Well, you got to believe that, Carlo is the Galactico whisperer, the James whisperer. He's played some of his best football under Ancelotti. And if you sign a guy like James Rodriguez, if you take his wages on board and the commitment, then you know that you have to really build the team around him. So I would expect him to play in the hole, with wingers and a striker and reference points all around him. And if he can do that, he's certainly highly motivated given his lack of playing time that he's had of late. And that's why this deal happened. So I believe.
Everton fans get very angry at us, Jan, because they feel that we don't give their club enough love. Is these signings good enough for them to, do better?
Well, I think Rodriguez is a good to make excitement. I remember when Rodriguez came to Bayern Munich, they sold him in like the Messiah, and he was not even close. He was average at Bayern Munich. But I think it's a valid point from Gab. You need a team to gel and to do a player like that. Everton it's an unbelievable job to be both Everton, being both Ancelotti, being in the shadow of Liverpool Football Club and Jurgen Klopp. So I don't think those signings will kind of help them and getting closer to Liverpool, but it will help them to be a better Everton team. Is that a diplomatic answer?
That is a very diplomatic answer, Jan. They'll be better than they were, but not that much, I think, is pretty much the interpretation. Meanwhile, we were listening to the Gab and Jules podcast. Robbo announced his Chelsea 11. And it's interesting when you look at it, Frank, because obviously there's quality everywhere, but there's one glowing problem, you would suggest, and that's in goal. Suggestions that maybe Edouard Mendy could make in that move from Rennes to Stamford Bridge. Is he any good?
He's a very good goalkeeper. I followed him when he was playing for Rennes, and he signed for Rennes after that. And I know Petr Cech is very close to Rennes, playing 2 years there just before coming to Chelsea. So I guess he has some people that he knows in the dressing room and at the club to know that Edouard Mendy is really a fantastic goalkeeper, and I think he will serve better than Kepa did for some years that he was at Chelsea for the amount of money that Chelsea paid. Now the question marks will be what's going to happen to Kepa if Edouard Mendy comes to the club and play in goals.
So if this signing happens, Gab, is it good enough to propel Chelsea into the conversation of title contenders?
No, I don't, with all due respect to Mendy, I don't think, he moves the needle where all of a sudden he shows up and, they're on a level footing with Liverpool or even Manchester City. I think, Chelsea probably have closed the gap, but whenever you bring in so many players, and I think above all when you raise so many questions, because Frank Lampard, and we talked about it with Robbo on the show, he loves his tactics. We have no idea what formation he's going to play, whether it's going to be 3-4-3, whether it's going to be 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, and then we don't know which players are going to fit where in that formation because he literally has so many options. So when that happens, it's really hard to judge a team. I expect Chelsea to be better than they were last year, but this is still a young team, with the exception of Thiago Silva, of course. And City and Liverpool, they're so far ahead that you're not going to close the gap overnight unless one of those two teams, something goes badly wrong and then they implode and just fall apart.
Jan, it's the last time you're on until the Premier League kicks off, so it seems right to get your predictions. You got, look at that picture. Wow, Jan. What was that? You at Frankfurt? How long ago was that? A couple of years?
This is like this year, I think.
Yeah, this was before lockdown. Okay, so you've got Liverpool, City, Chelsea, United, Arsenal and Spurs. Explain yourself.
Well, I think there is a valid point that I mean, Chelsea and Manchester United may come closer to Liverpool and Manchester City, but Liverpool still got the manager named Jurgen Klopp, and Manchester City got Pep Guardiola, and they are way better than Chelsea with Lampard, Manchester United with Solskjaer, Arsenal with Arteta, and Mourinho. Well, he is Mourinho. But these three inexperienced coaches, I'm not taking them down. I'm just taking Guardiola and Klopp up, and they have a philosophy they've done for years. And Gab was saying we don't even know how Chelsea's going to play. I mean, you can take a lot of talents, and wow, they've got talents with Havertz and Werner, but they're not coming closer in terms of how they're going to play and the experience and the plans and the strategy the two big bosses have. I think that Chelsea, with those players they've got in, they've scored an awful lot of goals. Hopefully they can defend a bit better, and then they maybe come past Manchester United. Manchester United got to do something in the transfer window more than they've done so far. I mean, they have a dream of Sancho. Well, they at least need Sancho to get closer to Liverpool and Manchester City, and that is just fact. There is no way, there is no reason I can't see them coming closer without getting more players in, better players in.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.